What is it you want to be for this company?
Darkness.
You're making some kind of deal with them. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's more in that building than what you can see.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Files. You got Elliot and you have Morgan making her return to Movie Files. She's been gone for a while. Busy young lady. Welcome back, Morgan.
Thank you.
We missed you
Glad
here
to
at
be
Movie
back.
Files. Yes, so as you guys can see in the title, we are here to talk about Suspiria, a non-spoiler review for Suspiria here. And if you guys have tuned in before, we just touch on the positives. We touch a little bit on the story, the performances, give you guys our negatives. And then at the end of the video, we'll give you our individual scores and if we recommend you guys to check it out. So before we get into our thoughts of the film, if this is your first time tuning in to Movie Files, number one, welcome to this channel. We are filled with movie reviews, TV reviews, trailer reactions, as well as unboxing videos. So if you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button. And also make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you can stay all up to date with all of our latest reviews. So with that being said, I'm going to have you start off, Morgan, since this is your first time back in a very long time. Excited to have you on this review of Suspiria. So I just want to touch a little bit on the story elements. So we got a lot of different things. And also, full disclosure, Morgan and I have both seen the original Suspiria. I'll speak for myself. I wasn't the biggest fan. I know it's revered as one of the best horror films of all time. Yes, it was beautiful. The score of the film was great. The visuals were great, but I just wasn't interested in the story nor the performances. Quick review on the original for you. Were you a fan of it?
I was not. Again,
yeah.
It looked cool.
Yeah, visually,
but I
it was
just
really
think
gorgeous.
it's like, I'm so used to the way movies are now that it's like sometimes it's hard to go back in time for something that didn't maybe age as well, in my opinion. So, but I did think that the acting was overdone.
Was a little out, yeah. And also that's our
lots of screaming.
Yeah. So going into this film, I would say that the original didn't affect what I thought about going into this new one because, as you guys know, this film was directed by Luca Guadagnino, who both of us are fans of from Call Me by Your Name and some other his projects. So going into that, I was very excited. I think you were excited for the trailer too. Yeah. So going back to just the story elements, I thought this film offered more to the story than the original. Had a lot more things going on. So was there anything in particular that stuck out to you as regarding the story?
Witches.
Yeah.
I'm like totally into that. So that was right up my alley. And then, like I said, Elliot introduced me to Suspiria in the summer and because he was excited about it coming out this fall. Yeah. And that's when we saw the first one. So I was just excited to see it redone. The talent in the movie I knew was good. So that was exciting too. But I think as far as the story goes, just witches, that interested me.
So everything at the Coven really was the biggest standout for you, or the Academy, I should say, the Dance Academy. Yeah. Which also too, for you guys that have seen the original, other than the premise of the Academy and some of the names of the characters from the original, that's like the only thing that was really brought into this new one. So you know, this is a remake or not, it's a reimagining more or less. They took the IP and again took some other elements, but besides that, we had, and not giving too much away, but there's like took place in Berlin in 1977. There was some war aspect going on as kind of the backdrop of the film. There's more diving deep into Susie's character, kind of where she comes from. You learn a little bit about more of the teachers of the school. So I thought that, and not saying that, for me, I wouldn't say that this one's better than the original.
Just a little bit more development.
I preferred the storytelling elements of this one than the original.
I agree.
And like Morgan said, everything to me, that the best storyline for me was everything in the Coven, which kind of jumps into my next question, performances. I'll just say it right out flat. I mean, we all know this. Tilda Swinton stole every scene she was in. She is such a phenomenal actress and everything. And she won't give it too much away, but she plays two roles in this film as the madam of the Academy, and then
she
also
might play more than two.
There's another character that we won't talk about, but she plays the doctor in this film. But I thought she was great in every scene she was in, as well as Dakota Johnson. Yes, everyone knows her from 50 Shades of Grey, but kind of in that same boat as the Twilight actors. She's now kind of branching out and kind of making her own name in Hollywood. And I thought she was great as Susie in this film. And also a newcomer. To me, she might have been in other movies I'd never seen her in, but I believe her name was Mia Goth. She played Sarah, and I really liked her storyline. She was kind of the... We were in her eyes. We were trying to figure out what's going on in school. So I liked her performance too. So was there any
I'm not going to
performances?
re-say everything you said, but I agree with Elliot. Number one standout for me was definitely Tilda Swinton. I did not realize that she played the old man until after, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because the voice was a little like off. But anyway, yeah, she is stellar. She is amazing. And I do think that it's really cool too. Dakota, I almost called her Dakota Fanning, but Dakota Johnson, it's really cool to see her in a different element. And I thought she did a really good job. Just like a serious film. 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know. Is that serious?
I don't know what to, I mean,
it is very different, obviously. So anyway, it was really cool to see her in something just
completely
180. So
yeah, and then also too is as far as just kind of going into, you know, the direction also to Luca Guadagnino. Like I said, we're both fans of Call Me by Your Name, and I thought that just like Call Me by Your Name, he really puts you in the element. Like I said, this movie takes place in 1977 Berlin, in contrast to the original where it was bright and these really neon type of color scheme in the original. This was a little bit more bleak. It was in the winter and it was cold, and you know, it wasn't as broad and bright as the original, but I kind of liked his direction in this film and kind of what he brought to the aesthetic of the movie, and also the score, because the score of the original was pretty good. This one, they had kind of one consistent score throughout the movie, which was the dance recital music that they used in this film. I thought that was pretty creepy and haunting, and I really liked that. But outside of that, let's touch a little bit on the negatives. I'll start. I know, and I think you can agree with this. It's about 2.5 hours, which I
did not know going into it, and if I had known, we would have not seen it. I actually surprised Elliot. I was like, "Hey, let's go see this," because I knew he really wanted to, and he's been super busy. So it was like we both had time to go see it. So I'm like, "All right, your treat for just being so amazing." But again, had I looked
it's a long
and saw it was 2 hours and 30 minutes, we wouldn't have.
Which for me, I thought that it definitely could have been trimmed down. There were some story elements that I won't touch too into, but again, there's a kind of a love story going on. There's some other stuff that I thought could have been trimmed out of the story. Like Susie's background was there.
Well,
but
I just think you said this, and it's so true. It was too long for there not to be like follow through on certain things.
I would say
it just felt like there were some loose ends and like, but maybe we just need to see it again.
Which and also too, I think and not a negative for me, but the climax was just, it's gonna either you're gonna really love it or you're not gonna understand it or probably hate it. But I thought the climax was kind of in the middle. But again, like Morgan said, it didn't really close too many. There's a little bit too many unanswered questions for my taste. But you know, I would say the biggest thing was the running time, and it was like one or two storylines, subplots I thought were necessary. And
honestly, it felt to me it felt longer than 2.5 hours. Like it felt very long.
I'm just thinking of that one sequence we watched the doctor. Literally, there's like a 5-minute sequence when you're watching someone just walking from work and just walking to their home. It's just like little things like that. But again, knowing Luca Guadagnino, he likes to let scenes breathe and kind of make you feel like you're part of the world. So I get that, but again, he could have trimmed
it could have been trimmed
20, 30 minutes off this film. But
sure.
I think all in all, just kind of wrapping up here, I think even though there were some subplots that we really weren't the biggest fans of, and it was a little long, I think all encompassing, we'll probably watch it again. We'll probably appreciate, and look at her, she's tired. She's still thinking about a 2-hour runtime, 2.5 hours. But anyway, I think all encompassing, we both walked out of the theater we saw this movie about a week ago, and it took us a while to kind of collect our thoughts, and we read a lot of articles, but
here's the thing. I knew Elliot was gonna like it in some way, shape, or form, just because I know him and his attachment to things. But I will say, I walked out and I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And then the next day, I just had time to sit on it, and I was like, you know what? I actually did like it. And it is something you had said. You were like, I don't know that I'd watch that again. Right after the movie, but then the next day you're like, you know what? I might actually want to revisit that. Right. And I do think it is something that you do have to
it sits revisit. With you. Yeah.
Because I think it's like there's so much going on that there's probably things that we missed that if we watch it again, we'll be able to maybe uncover a little bit more easily. So. For sure.
And then with that, so I guess it's kind of overall thoughts. Then score here, again, like Morgan said, I walked out just kind of not knowing where I sat with the film, but the more I thought about it, kind of like Hereditary in some sense, where it had a lot being thrown at you, but then when you think about everything,
it's
that kind
more
of
of like an
out.
Intellectual film.
Yeah,
too,
it's a
piece of art, really.
It
so
really is. Yeah,
it's a different experience.
Yeah, and that climax, guys, that ending is like I said, is pretty wild the way the film ends. A lot of stuff going on. So I guess finishing up this video here, I'm gonna give my score. I'm gonna give this film a 3.5 out of 5. And I think that score might go up if I see it again. But right now, where I said I think it's a good movie, I recommend you guys checking out if you have the 2.5 hours to spare this holiday season. Or you might maybe just wait till it comes out at home and watching it in the comfort of your home. But I think it's worth checking out on the big screen. 3.5 out of 5 for me. What's your score?
I'm actually going to give it a 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I did like it. Like I said, it's funny because like I walked out and I was like,
I
do not like this at all.
Suspiria,
but I'm giving it a 4 because of the runtime. It was a little too long for me.
Excuse me. Yeah.
But you know what? For what it was, 2.5 hours, I think it does warrant that because it is just a different kind of like film experience. Yeah. And I agree. I do think that you should see it in the movie theater because I think that you get a little more of an immersive experience there.
Cool. So 4 out of 5 for Morgan, 3.5 out of 5 for me. And again, I think that score might go up once it comes out on home video and I'll watch it a couple more times. But overall, guys, that's our thoughts of the film, non-spoiler review of Suspiria. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely keep an eye out for some other reviews we got coming pretty soon. Actually, right after this, we're going to record our review for Beautiful Boy. And then we got some other stuff coming out, Boy Erased, Wreck-It Ralph, and then you have Creed 2, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And also trailer reviews, reactions coming out pretty soon. So definitely, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to stay all up to date with all that stuff I just mentioned. And also, if you're not already, follow us on our social media accounts. Again, Morgan, thank you for coming back. We love you on this channel. We love your thoughts. So I'm glad you were here to talk about Suspiria and excited to talk about some more movies. So I'm going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.